Hello everyone, welcome to today's current affairs session of Civilpedia. The topics we are going to see is SATAT initiative, Industry 4.0, Bitcoin failure and reservation policy. The first one, that is SATAT initiative. It is an initiative that has been launched by Petroleum Ministry. The full form of the SATAT is Sustainable Alternative Towards Affordable Transportation. That itself shows that it has been major concern for transport. So the major objective of this initiative is to use the compressed biogas for the cleaner and alternative fuel for the transport, so that all the stakeholders will be benefited by this. For example, in this biogas production, there will be the usage of livestock waste, crops, wastewater, food waste, and these all will come under this anaerobic digestion. And after that, it will produce the biogas, and this biogas consists of majority of 95% of methane. So this methane can be used for this electricity, heating purpose as well as a fuel. That shows what are the players that are involving in this process is, first and foremost is this vehicle uses. Nowadays we are paying high amount of price for this fuel. So this vehicle users will be get at a cheap rate of this fuel. And second thing is it is giving additional income for the farmers, because they can use this crops and livestock waste and the food waste of this farmers for this biogas production. And the third important player of this biogas production is entrepreneurs. Now it will create more and more jobs, because at the rural level it will going to have a much more impact. So this is a major benefit of this biogas production. And apart from that, it will also give another benefits. For example, in the solid waste management, it will play a crucial role, because the waste from this solid waste can be used for this resources of biogas. So it will helpful to handle this solid waste management, because it is one of the crucial thing that is haphazard manner. It is obstructing the growth of the city. And second important thing is urban air pollution, because most of the farmers are using this crop stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana region. For if we started to produce the biogas from this crop waste, then most of the problem of this air pollution will be stopped. And third important thing is it will reduce this carbon emission, because if we started to use this more and more alternative greener fuel, then it will going to impact this climate change and thereby have a positive effect on the society. So this is the major benefit of this biogas production of this SATAT initiative. And apart from that, what other initiative that has been taken by the government towards this compressed biogas production is, first and foremost thing is we have recently launched this National Policy on Biofuel 2018. That also stressed the production of this 4th generation and 3rd generation biofuel that will come under this biogas. And another important initiative of the government is this Gobardhan. It is also having this organic manure fuel. So these are the initiatives that is related with this compressed biogas production. And the next topic we are going to see is Industry 4.0. So India in the overall global economy, right now the share of the India in the global GDP is 7.45%. While what we target is to have a double digit, that is 25% we targeted. So India wanted to have 25% of global GDP share. So for that, what are the things we have missed and what we have to do to achieve this target? So what are the industrial revolution that has happened recently is, the past few decades is, there was 4 kinds of industrial revolution has happened. First one was started in the 1784. That is with this first mechanical loom that was invented. With that, the first industrial revolution has been utilizes mechanization and steam power and weaving loom. So these kind of revolution has happened at the first industrial revolution. So we India have missed not that much level. We India have lost so much of interest in this first level of industrialization, because at that time it was a British period. So India couldn't participate much in this industrial revolution of 1. And in the second industrial revolution that was happened in 1870, that was mostly based on this electrification, and the assembly line and mass production was happened in that industry 2.0. In that period also we was under the British control, so India couldn't participate effectively in this industry 2.0. And the third industrial revolution was happened in 1969. That the major objective of this is to have more and more automation. That is, electronics and telecommunication industry has taken the lead in this third industrial revolution, where in 1969 the first programmable logic controller has been invented. That has this industry 3.0. India has missed these 3 industrial revolutions. It couldn't take part that much level in the past 3 industrial revolution. What is the right now the industrial revolution that is happening is industry 4.0. That it has this more and more of a cyber and physical system integrated. that is more networking and connectivity oriented things. That is the Internet of Things, data mining, cloud computing. These are the major technologies that has been driving force the industry to 4.0. So to have harness the potential of the industry 4.0, what we have to do is, because India already has very much level, it has profounded in this information technology field, and we have huge human resources in this Indian talent of in industrial information technology. So if we combine this India's potential of this service sector, then we can excel in this India's industrial revolution 4.0. That shows that industrial revolution 4.0 is nothing but is the India's tomorrow's will be better by this industrial 4.0. So what the things we have to do for this having to harness the potential of industry 4.0 is three important things we have to notice in it. First and foremost thing, we have to revamp this higher education, because affiliation system of higher education is failing right now in India. So this makes that more and more courses of this affiliated colleges has more and more single oriented courses only. They don't have this multiple disciplinary courses. So more and more specialization of a single courses will not helpful in this industry 4.0, because in the industry 4.0 it's more and more of integration of a physical and then cyber security systems. So more and more integration and more multidisciplinary approaches is what needed to harness the potential of this industry 4.0. Right now what we have is more and more colleges only. These affiliated colleges are providing only single stream courses. The single stream courses will not be suited for this 4.0 industrial revolution. So what we need to have is more and more corporate funded, deemed and autonomous universities, so that the curriculum will be designed based on the industry needs, not based on this past industrial revolution. The new industrial revolution, what it demands, based on that demand, the new curriculum has to be set up. And second important thing to harness this potential of 4.0 is to skilling, how to revamp the skilling, that is upskilling and reskilling, how we can do it. Not only in the curriculum, how we can implement it in the skilling sectors, that is skilling programs. So if we started to have more and more employee-led volunteering in the skilling programs, then we will get to know what the industry needs, because this employee is only in the current trend of what the industry demands. So if that kind of people started to volunteer in this skilling programs of India, that is Skill India programs, then it will be much more benefit to have this 4.0 industrial revolution. And third important thing with respect to is labor laws. Labor laws has to be according to the dynamic nature and flexibility of the business cycle of the modern environment. Then only it will make to harness the potential of this 4.0 industrial revolution. So what right now the industries is, that most of industrial has this gig economy. Gig economy is nothing but it is have more and more freelancing and temporary contract oriented work is now increasing, rather than have a formal fixed employment. Right now we more have a freelancing employment is opportunities enhancing. So our labor laws need to have how to give the security to this freelancers and how to promote this freelancing environment. So that we need to have is employment friendly labor laws rather than having employee or employer friendly labor laws, because more and more nowadays this employment is more important rather than this employee or employer. So what is the need of this environment, this economy demands? According to that demands, the labor law has to be needed, because most of the labor laws was in the 19th century labor laws that cannot be used to the current industrial revolution. So what we need is, what is the need of this current industrial revolution 4.0? According to that, the labor law needs to be revamped. And with that, we will move to the next topic of Bitcoin failure. This Bitcoin failure, what is this Bitcoin is? Initially, it is one type of a currency only. So initially, what is the history of this money is, first in the previous civilization, we used this barter system. Then only this money concept has came. And initially, we used to have this metal money, that is on the gold, silver, on the copper basis, we will have this metal money. Then we go for this fiat money, then plastic, digital currency we go. Right now, we have entered into this cryptocurrencies. This Bitcoin is an example of this cryptocurrencies. It uses this blockchain technology that has this distributed ledger system, so that it will eliminate this middle role of a bank system and national currencies. So that is the main objective of this Bitcoin, that is displacing this national currencies as well as removing this central bank as the intermediate player. So what is the specialty of this Bitcoin is, it has this fixed supply only. It is not like keep on, it can be mining. So it has to be a fixed supply. So it will tend to have how much demand. Based on the demand, the price of the Bitcoin will be fixed. So this is the nature of this Bitcoin. So right now, why it started to get failure is because the transaction cost of a Bitcoin is too much expensive. And it is not that much easy to have a simple means of payment, because most of the countries is not recognizing it as a payment of settlement. So this Bitcoin cannot go across this kind of problems. And next important thing is through this Bitcoin, the more and more money laundering can happen to have. And then this tax evasion will also be more provoked to this Bitcoin. So based on these, most of the countries are not recognizing this Bitcoin as their own currencies. So recently the Supreme Court has said within a week it is going to give verdict whether this bank accounts can be used as a channel to have this Bitcoin transaction through this cryptocurrencies exchanges. So still no court didn't give its verdict. After that verdict only we will came to know whether this Bitcoin can be transacted through this bank account or not. Before the verdict itself, many of legends in the Bitcoin started to withdraw from this market. That shows this value of the Bitcoin started to decrease so much. That shows this Bitcoin is started to get failure side. With that, we will end this topic and we will move on to the next topic of reservation policy. So reservation. So recently the Human Development Report has said that human development is nothing but it is the having a more amount of freedom of choices. So how many alternative choices a human can have in his life to promote his own desires. That is called human development. So what is, according to this India, this reservation policy tried to do is to remove the restrictions on this freedom so that this human development will be achieved. So it is started from this independence period itself. So in 1950 itself, our constitution has provided in the part 16 that for the SC/ST, we will have a reservation in this state legislature and the central assembly. So with that reservation has been extended later to this employment as per the Article 16. And then it was extended back to this higher education. And finally, in the later decade, it was extended to this OBC, other backward caste also. So the unique nature in world, the reservation mostly is based on this ethnicity, religion, language, gender basis. But the uniqueness of India is we have combined this reservation based on caste, religion, economy, as well as the gender. Because, for example, if we take this OBC Muslim, then it shows it's a combination of religion and economy in this OBC Muslim. Based on that, we are giving this reservation. While if we take this Dalit Christian, it shows this caste and religion has been combined in this Dalit Christian reservation. So it shows it's a combination of these. We have framed this reservation policy. So right now, what are the issues that is going with respect to this reservation policies? First and foremost thing is this creamy layer. Whether we can apply this creamy layer to this SC/ST people, because still now we have the creamy layer for this OBC people only. But right now this creamy layer debate is going on whether to include this SC/ST people under this creamy layer. Because some people or SC/ST people are well off, but still they are reaping the benefits of this reservation policy. So it is justice or not. It is an injustice to this other privileged castes. So the scenario is going on this with respect to this creamy layer is that. When there's most of the thing, what is going right now is, it is going for exclusion things rather than of inclusion things. Because by the creamy layer, how we are going to exclude this wrong people, and as well as how to include this more and more right people into that reservation policy is the first and foremost important task before us. And second important the issues with respect to this reservation is private jobs. So to have a reservation in the private jobs or not, that debate is also going on. And the next important thing is whether the privileged caste who are economically disadvantaged, whether we can give the reservation to them also. Because earlier we have this government has proposed 10% reservation for this economically disadvantaged privileged caste. But in Indira Saini case, the Supreme Court had said that the 10% reservation to this economically disadvantaged privileged caste will not be valid. So they have struck it down. So right now we don't have this economic disadvantages privileges to this privileged people. And the court has said in that Indira Saini case itself that up to 50% the state can give this reservation policies. But except the thing is Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu alone has this nearly 70% of reservation they have allocated. They have put under this reservation under 9th schedule. That shows it has only limited judicial review on this thing. And the stance that the Tamil Nadu has taken is, if we have more and more reservation in this education, that will help to have upward mobility of the people. Thereby, it will have more and more positive impact on the society rather than having a reservation in this employment or in other things. If we have more reservation in the education, it is definitely going to have much impact on the society in the positive side. And another important thing with respect to this reservation is, we used to say it is as reservation as the anti-poverty thing. But there are more different things of this anti-poverty policy also. Because, for example, this Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has said that it will not give reservation, it will not give scholarship for this well-off SC/ST people, but it will give reservation. That shows it is going this anti-poverty thing only, but with some restrictions they are giving. This kind of a positive things has to be provoked. And another thing is reservation in the promotion. That is the quite hot topic with respect to this reservation policy. So till 1955 to 1992, the reservation in the promotion was allowed. But in 1992, then the Supreme Court said that it is not constitutional valid to have a reservation in the promotion. But in 1995, a law was made to have this again, to have a reservation in promotion. So in 2006, Nagaraj versus Union of India case, the Supreme Court has said that as per this Article 16(4), reservation can give in the promotion based on the reservation can be given only based on this three criteria. First one is backwardness, then second inadequate representation, and third one is overall efficiency. If a situation has satisfied all these three conditions, then only we can give reservation to the people. So if anybody is failed to have this three condition, then the reservation will not be provided to that people. The court has said this verdict. Right now, what is the issue? The recent current issue with respect to this thing is, in this backwardness, the criteria of backwardness has been removed for this SC/ST people reservation. Because court said that, the constitutional itself said that this SC/ST people are backward people. So, as the constitution itself said by themselves, it is need not to prove that the SC/ST people are backward so that they can get this reservation. That is the reason verdict that the Supreme Court has said. So with that thing, we will end up today's current affairs session. Thank you. Have a positive day.